Here are some new books at your Spanish Fork Library.
Successful Aging. A neuroscientist explores the power and potential of our lives by Daniel J. Leviathan. Successful Aging uses research from developmental neuroscience and the psychology of individual differences to show that 60 plus years is a unique developmental stage that, like infancy or adolescence, has its own demands and distinct advantages. Leviathan looks at the science behind what we all can learn from those who age joyously, as well as how to adapt our culture to take full advantage of older people's wisdom and experience. Throughout his exploration of what aging really means, Leviathan reveals resilience strategies and practical cognitive enhancing tricks everyone should do as they age. Power Grab, the liberal scheme to undermine Trump, the GOP, and our republic by Jason Chaffetz. In the years he served on and eventually chaired the United States House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, Jason Chaffetz gained crucial insight into the inner workings of DC. Things were bad then, but during the Trump administration, liberals have reached a new level of hysteria and misconduct. It shouldn't be this way. Democrats have abandoned the wisdom set forth in the Constitution for short-term political wins. Power Grab shows the lengths to which Democrats will go to maintain their grip on power, and how the only thing that will stop them is a return to our founding principles. Hindsight by Iris Johansson. Dr. Kendra Michaels, blind for the first 20 years of her life before gaining her sight via a revolutionary surgical procedure, is a renowned investigator known for her razor-sharp senses, honed during her years in the dark, and keen detective abilities. Now her skills are needed uncomfortably close to home. 2 staff members have been murdered at a school for the blind where Kendra spent her formative years, but the murders are puzzlingly dissimilar. One victim was brutally stabbed while the other was killed by a bullet to the head. Are the crimes related, or is Kendra on the hunt for more than one dangerous killer? Moral Compass by Danielle Steele. St. Ambrose Prep is a place where the wealthy send their children for the best possible education, with teachers and administrators from the Ivy League and graduates who become future lawyers, politicians, filmmakers, and CEOs. Traditionally a boys-only school, St. Ambrose has just enrolled 140 female students for the first time. Even though most of the kids on the campus have all the privilege in the world, some are struggling, wounded by their parents' bitter divorces, dealing with insecurity and loneliness. In such a heightened environment, even the smallest spark can become a raging fire. Home to Sommersby by Anita Stansfield. Hazel May Hollingsworth is devastated following the unexpected death of her father, and she can't shake a sense of foreboding when the family solicitor arrives at the estate. Her intuition turns out to be well-founded, for her father's will reveals a long-held family secret. Hazel's entire life has been a lie. Within hours of receiving the news, she is turned out by the man she once called her brother, dispossessed with little more than her mother's instruction to seek refuge with her father's sister.
Fireborne by Rosaria Munda. Annie and Lee were just children when a brutal revolution changed their world, giving everyone, even the lowborn, a chance to test into the governing classes of dragon riders. Now they are both rising stars in the new regime, despite backgrounds that couldn't be more different. But everything changes when survivors from the old regime surface, bent on reclaiming the city. From debut author Rosaria Munda comes a gripping adventure that calls into question which matters most, the family you were born into or the one you've chosen. A Witch's Printing Office Volume 1 by Mo Chin Chi. What nerd wouldn't enjoy exploring an RPG-style world? Not Mika. She was just about to enjoy her post-comic market haul when fate whisked her away into a fantasy land. All Mika wants is to find a way home, so she's hunting for spells, but rather than search all over, they'll be coming to her to attend her magical book-selling event, Magic Market. With a very animated catalog of guests, eccentric attendees, and out-of-control lines, what could possibly go wrong? The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. 17-year-old Rin only cares about two things, her family and her family's graveyard. And right now, both are in dire straits. Since the death of her parents, Rin and her siblings have been scraping together a meager existence as gravediggers in a remote village of Colburn, which sits at the foot of a harsh and deadly mountain range that was once home to the Fae. The problem with being a gravedigger in Colburn, though, is that the dead don't always stay dead. Equal parts classic horror novel and original fairy tale, the Bone Houses will have you spellbound from the very first page. The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. Princess Guinevere has come to Camelot to wed a stranger, the charismatic King Arthur. With magic clawing at the kingdom's borders, the great wizard Merlin conjured a solution: send in Guinevere to be Arthur's wife, and his protector from those who want to see the young king's idyllic city fail. The catch? Guinevere's real name and her true identity is a secret. She's a changeling, a girl who has given up everything to protect Camelot. A new fantasy series set in the world of Camelot where nothing is as magical and terrifying as a girl.
The library is located here on Main Street. We'd love to see you real soon.